Hello everybody and welcome to another Destiny video, and in today's video we're going to talk about the This Week in Destiny post that released 19 hours ago at the time of this recording. I'm late to it, but I still have to cover it. Though I wouldn't use the word late because now we've got time for the community reaction to come in, and the reaction is overly negative. This reaction from Cactus, being the F word, I censored it, is very telling as to the type of responses we are going to see to the This Week in Destiny weekly summary, if you will. The reason I say that is because Cactus is somebody who genuinely enjoys Destiny and wants the game to succeed, so when he says things like this, it's out of concern for the game. Cactus is not a hater, he is a fan, much like myself, which is the main reason why it's so painful to see this downward trajectory for Destiny. With that out of the way, we can start reading the tweets. Let's get into it. This user says, quote, "You are killing the game. The longer you leave critical issues unaddressed, the more people leave and never come back. Here's a list of issues that are imperative you mention solutions for, or at least acknowledge. The delay, the roadmap, PvP, cheaters, networking, SBMM ruining every portal mode sandbox balance, the PvE meta, rocket pulsers cannot continue to be straight up better than most heavies, abilities cannot continue to make primaries worthless and everyone invincible. This is insanely boring. The insane communication drought, plans to move forward for the portal. Everyone hates it. And lastly, the abysmal content drought we're in right now. This lack of communication hurts Marathon as well by garnering negative community sentiment from your core player base before the game even launches. Please, I want this game to be good more than anyone, but the way you are handling it screams that you genuinely do not care at all." The reason I chose this particular Twitter post is because the fella seems to know what he's talking about, and also you can see that in the tweet he specifically lists the things that they did not mention, issues that I'm seeing a trend that people want Destiny to communicate on these things specifically, but they aren't communicating those things. Which is why you see so many of these posts talking about Bungie and Destiny in this way. I would like to mention for the PvP point, even in my own time playing Destiny, there have been a lot of problems with cheaters. I mean, up to a point I just thought that cheaters were a feature of the game because they'd be so slow to ban these people. They eventually got around to it, but they would really take their time. It's disheartening to see that Destiny 2 is still struggling with this issue, and the same anti-cheat software that Destiny 2 uses is what's going to be implemented into Marathon, and so you can probably expect to see a lot of these problems persist in Bungie's other games, unfortunately. And that's the biggest thing about this problem, is that it is a company-wide problem at Bungie. The work culture, something about the culture there, I don't know what it is specifically, but the people who are working at Bungie right now seem to be completely blindsided by all of these things, and it has to make you wonder what is going on to warrant this lack of communication that we're seeing. Because we've been dealing with these problems so long, it seems to be that the only way to fix these problems is to really drill into the employees that are already there and get them to fix these habits, or to completely do away with these employees and hire new and competent individuals. And until Bungie steps up to the plate and decides, okay, we're going to get things right, we're going to straighten things up, I don't know how to have confidence in their future projects. Because Occam's razor suggests that this problem will continue to persist. Moving on to the next tweet, it reads, "Shows up 4 hours late, drops 5th nothing this week at Bungie in a row. No mention of Shadow and Order delay, roadmap, Zalo Supercell, or Iron Banner. Refuses to elaborate. See you next week." And so you can see that the problem is not only that this one was 4 hours later than it usually is, but also this is the quote 5th nothing this week at Bungie in a row. So when people say that there's a lack of communication, this is what they mean. It's just metaphorical, kicking the can down the road, and it's been 5 of these that there's been nothing of substance delivered. Shadow and Order is important for Destiny because it is another chance to prove themselves. Once again, they're in a precarious position where they've already been through 2 rounds of layoffs and nothing has seemingly changed. And so in this lull where nothing is getting accomplished, there is a continuously rising pressure for Bungie to perform in this moment. They have to perform, because if they don't perform well, the entire company is at stake. You would think that with those kinds of stakes, communicating to your player base would only be a positive thing. Bungie has loyal, diehard fans, but these loyal, diehard fans that I'm talking about feel betrayed right now because Bungie is not communicating to them and is not talking to them. The This Week in Destiny, This Week at Bungie comes out, a lot is said, but nothing is said. at the same time. It's all just words. It's all just empty. They need to address the problem. It's as simple as that. They need to address the problem. Ideally, they should be able to give a solution to those problems. But for now, at the very least, addressing that there are problems would be a start. This tweet will bring things full circle into the main issue and what has been the main issue, the thorn in Bungie's side and Destiny's side by extension. This tweet gets to the heart of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Every week that goes by without mention of the multi-year roadmap or state of the game honestly stings. I totally get that marathon is the more pressing matter for the studio right now, but it would feel really nice to get some comms on how these are coming along. And when the user mentions these, he's talking about the roadmap and the state of the game that he's mentioned before in the tweet. I said before that Destiny is feeling pressure, and that pressure is being put onto them, and they believe that by making Marathon into a success, that will instantly void every single problem and plague that the studio has in place right now, which is just categorically false. If you don't change out the employees, you'll get the same results because you have the same people. Keep those developers and those people who have done a good job with the game. The people who are on the communication side of Bungie right now, I would say, are not doing a very good job. As far as I've seen, they could improve or they could remain stagnant in the way that they are, but I've yet to see that. I've yet to see the change. If the old Bungie is truly dead, then we have to make a new Bungie that has that same passion and that same dedication that the old team had. Though I'm determined with Bungie right now, the strategy is sink or swim with Marathon. That's how it is. That's how it's going to go. All of the eggs are in one basket. A Marathon-shaped basket that, mind you, could do very well or could do very poor. I have no idea how it's going to do. But the fact remains that Marathon could very well determine the fate of the company, which is exactly the way that the Bungie employees and the Bungie team is thinking. Seeing as they are neglecting Destiny whilst they're constantly posting on their Marathon account, Marathon is their main priority and they have sidelined Destiny 2. You might ask me, well, how do you know that they have that mindset? That specifically that I said, that's the reason why. Destiny 2's most recent post, the first part says, show off your Renegades themed fashion in our newest fashion show, hashtag Tharsis Threads. And in the comments below, they are being toasted, to put it lightly, because there are a lot of out-of-joint Destiny fans, and I would be out of joint too if they could take the time to post this fashion show thing for Destiny 2, yet they cannot put out the information that is important, the roadmap information that people have been asking for. This comment, mainly right here in this tweet, it says, show off your Destiny 2 multi-year roadmap and state of the game, hashtag Tharsis Threads. I found that to be quite witty, quite funny, but it gets the point across. It gets to the heart of the issue that Destiny just can't quite seem to understand or is willingly ignoring. Like I said before, it's all sad to see because ultimately I want the best for Destiny. Being a Destiny player for years at a time now, having played since the D1 days, I really want to see the Destiny property make a comeback. And for Destiny 3 to be back on the table, that is ultimately what I hope for. But as a prerequisite to that, they've got to get this stuff with Destiny 2 ironed out. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been all for this report. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.